So Mo, coming to Denmark, and
Hi.
and you came to my studio.
Yes.
I'm really honored to meet you as well. Now we spoke a little before as well,
Mhm.
and you messed with my brain for the last 2 3 days. When'd you get here? You got here on Monday, and you swung by for you were supposed to just come in and say hi, and you ended up talking for almost 2 hours, and
Did I?
I felt like I was supposed to draw with my client, and
Uh,
I was like, fuck, I actually want to listen to the shit that you're saying.
Felt like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was almost actually, it was 1 hour and 20 minutes,
Okay.
so close enough.
Well,
Um, but again, thanks for letting me do this little thing with you. I know it's super awkward and super weird. We don't do this often, and I think it was just really interesting to pull in for me as well to have this little conversation with you. You messed with my brain, as I told you. You have a really interesting take on life, and again, we'll talk about anything from tattoos to how you guided my client in his relationship. And he was like, "Fuck, me and my wife, we're actually so different. Maybe we're not a match, and I'm supposed to get married with her." And like, no, you were actually a match because you match each other in opposite ways.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I love to mess stuff up.
yeah,
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
that's beautiful. So, long story short,
Yeah.
who is Mo, and how did he get to where he is right now?
Mo's just a name. I was actually, let me say this on camera. I was born Muhammad Ganji Tari, not official,
Yeah.
um, in Iran, in Tehran, um, in 1985. My parents decided to leave the country for many reasons. Um, we went to Germany in 85. I was raised in Berlin, and when I got my German citizenship, I was 18. Um, you get a free shot on changing the name. You can choose whatever name you want. Um, and I chose to change it to Mo because it was basically my name from, I don't know,
Ever since, yeah.
ever since, yeah, people call me Mo. And after 9/11, that was probably a very good choice. Made my life so much easier. Um, so is my actual name is Mo Ganji now, coming from Muhammad Ganji Tavi.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Persian names are a long story.
They are.
They are. It I don't know any Persian with a simple name. It's always like the entire family story in a whole sentence.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I feel that part.
mm,
So, going from Muhammad to Moganji,
yeah.
was that like, I'm not even gonna say you changed it to become the tattoo artist, or was just part of it?
Oh, I mean, I was 18. I was far away from becoming a tattoo artist. I thought it was so much more practical. You fill out a form. I could never fit my name on it. You call somewhere and you say your name. They're like G A.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
So it was more practical than anything else. Yeah.
I feel like there's something I spoke to you already, but I haven't mentioned it. But I feel like there's also something spiritual and higher level on the name Moganji as well.
Is it?
It's like another version of Gandhi. This,
Uh, I'm far away from
yeah,
Gandhi.
but still, I think like the way that I know of you is I started my tattoo career. I think it was like 12 years ago,
Uh huh.
11, 12 years ago. And of course, everything on Pinterest, everything on Instagram, everything that popped up, that was you.
Uh,
And I don't
Interesting.
know if you know that, but everybody in Denmark, they're like, they were getting like these single lines pieces. And like, I've never seen an actual Moganji tattoo, but I've seen all the copies.
Mm, good.
It's fascinating for
Good.
me for you to actually doing your thing, creating a style,
Mm.
becoming what you are today, and then at the same time only able to get 3 clients while you're in Copenhagen. That's something
It's
fascinating
a
as well.
blessing and a curse. I mean, I think me being here is not for tattooing. Maybe it's for this. I'm sitting in front of the camera. I hate it.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not here for tattooing. It doesn't matter. I'm here.
You're here now.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
When did you kick off your tattoo career then? How did that start? How did you get into this stuff? And how did you create your style?
Never heard that question before.
Really? BS.
I look, um, everything that happened happened. I never had a plan or anything. I was just playing around with ideas, and I was creating tattoos for other people. I was drawing. I actually created my own tattoo. So I started looking into the whole thing, and while doing so, I thought I could do that. Looks easy. Um, I looked up artists, and I found this guy in Berlin, which I admire. Hallo Valentin, Valentin Hirsch. Um, absolute, he's a genius. He's a true artist.
Mhm.
He studied art. He's a very special human being. I hit him up. I said, "Hey, my name's Mo. I'm interested in the craft. Is there any chance I could come by and watch you doing it?" He said, "No."
The classic
I
answers.
said, "Please." He said, "Okay, you can come. You sit in the corner. You shut up. You rah 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 rah."
Mm,
I went there and I was fascinated because it's such a great craft. You know, all these little details and the needles and machines and
mm.
um. So I was like, I want to do this. And I talked to my friends, and one of my friends, hello Ismail, bless you, um, he went, registered a business because you had to do so in order to buy a tattoo machine back in the days. Bought a tattoo machine and gifted to me to my 31st birthday. And kind of pushed me over the edge. He was like, "You talk too much. Prove it." So I had the machine, which was the indentation. I could not tattoo at Valentin's studio, so I looked around, and the guy who was doing my taxes back in the days, he was doing the taxes for a tattoo studio in my neighborhood. And he was like, "Let me talk to this guy. He's a very good friend of mine. Maybe you can go there." I went there. Hello, Tiba. Um, Persian guy.
Mm.
So, you know,
Hit it off.
yeah. He's like, "Can you draw?" I said, "Yeah." He showed me his stuff. I showed him my stuff. He's like, "Yeah, I see you tomorrow at 9." I went there, and he did let me practice on oranges for 3 days. I was vegan back in the day, so no pigskin.
No.
And on the third day, one of my best friend's brother came by, Hima. Hello, Hima. Um, he's like, "Man, I want the first tattoo. I don't care what it looks like. I trust you. I just want the first one."
Wow.
I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing."
No.
Like, "No, no, I trust you." So he lent me his arm, and I'm sitting there going, no sweating. Um, I knew it in theory because I saw Valentin do it a couple of times. I watched my boss. Um, so I'm pulling my first line, and the guy's watching me and saying, "Yeah, that looks good. Just keep on doing it. I'll come back and check with you." And he never came back checking. Um, that's how it started.
Crazy.
Yeah. So you see, there's so many people involved in this,
Mm.
and so many coincidences, and a lot of luck.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, this is how it all started.
Yeah.
And then the single line, that was me sitting. My boss had two studios. He gave me one. He knew I could run a shop because I come from management, and one shop is
Yeah.
easy. It's just me. The other guys all left, so it was me by myself. I renovated it. Was sitting there. I did put my stuff in the window, and there's this customer who comes in. His name was Chris. Chris.
Takers.
Um, he wanted a deer, 3 heads. I made a drawing till 2 in the morning for him. You've been there. So you're like frustrated, like, fuck, you know. And I had the drawing and I had this piece of paper where I was just doodling with my pen. I still have the pen. Um, and I had my first single line tattoo design. So both of these drawings were in the folder. Next morning, I present him my design and he sees the doodling and says, I like that. Can I have this instead? And I'm thinking, fucking asshole.
Yes.
I stood up all night doing this.
That's the classy thing.
Yes, I did it. He came back for another one. He brought people. And I was like, very convenient. The drawing took like a minute. Like, this is so cool. This is so practical. I love practical.
Yeah.
Um, so I started designing with that pen on paper. And of course, developing it, put my stuff in the window. And before I knew it, now we are 3 months in my career. I created an Instagram account. I uploaded my pictures. And before I knew it, it just exploded in my face.
Really.
So yeah, so once again, it was pure luck. I had nothing planned. And I was just continuing doing this because it was so much fun. It gave me a lot of self-confidence because I'm like, yeah, this actually works. People like it, because at the beginning you don't know.
No.
Um, and now it's 11 years. And what's funny is that I feel like I'm sitting in that room doing my stuff while everything else is happening
Yeah.
behind my back. And only if I leave my studio and experience myself in a different context, like here or in other studios, I realize how big this thing actually is.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because I go to work, I go home, and 90% of the time I do other stuff. So I'm not the tattoo artist.
No.
Yeah.
But what is the definition of a tattoo artist?
I don't know. It's a concept. You can use it to get access to a club or, you know,
A rock star mentality.
yeah, it's just a concept. Whatever it means to you. I never say tattoo artist. I say artist. Yeah, it's a better excuse.
True.
You know?
It can be so many things.
Yeah, for me, it's an excuse. You say no, you're an artist. You can do whatever the hell you want, and you don't have to explain it.
No.
It's more of an attitude.
That's right.
I'm an artist. Yeah, shit on the plate. It's art, buddy. Deal with it.
I have a saying that I work in a kindergarten. That's what I say instead. Because again, people, they're not really interested in hearing what you do. Like, oh, you're like people. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I never say I'm a tattoo artist because people want an appointment. I'm like,
Being in the club and in a bar and a restaurant, like, oh,
never,
yeah, I had my mom, my blah blah
never,
blah.
never. I never say it.
No,
No.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But crazy. So everything actually exploded from basically almost after 90 days. You doing your thing.
Shout out to Morgan, who interviewed me. She was scrolling Instagram to find new talent and different stuff, different styles. I had like 1,000 followers, which was a lot.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. I'm like, wow,
For celebrity.
I put my stuff in the window, I get 1,000 followers. That's crazy. And after her tattoo, it just, I think it went to 5,000. And then Bored Panda, which is a big platform, picked it up, reposted her interview, 9gag reposted. And within days, whatever, it went from 1,000 to 5,000 to 50,000 to 100. It just skyrocketed. And then, like you said, Pinterest and all these platforms.
Power of social media.
Yeah. That's 10 years ago. I don't know if it still works like that. I don't know how it works anyways.
No.
But it worked for me. It was pure luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you believe in pure luck?
Most of it is, I think it's timing. And you can control it to some extent, but you need some sort of intuition or whatever. And yeah, I don't know, being at the right place at the right time
Yeah,
is is big part of it. Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
But also for the people actually carrying you on into your career and actually pushing you as well. But I think
yeah.
it's
Like I said,
because
I just named 10 people
yeah, yeah,
that happened to be there
yeah.
for me to be here today.
But just for you to recall that and actually remember that
Oh yeah,
and know where you came from as
yeah, yeah.
well. A lot
It's
of respect to that. I feel like a lot of tattoo artists, they when they become something, they become superstars or celebrities. And they kinda some and not to name drop anybody, but some of the guest artists that I've had, they have that superstar mentality as well. They're like,
mm,
"Yeah, uh, no handshakes, no high fives, just like we come and we make our money and we leave." And again, I respect it.
mm,
I come with that purpose,
yeah,
and I'm not doing this thing with anybody or everybody. So for me, it's really powerful for me to actually sit down with you and have a conversation. But also, I know a lot of the artists that I had come through because we have I don't know how many guest artists we had over this year so far. I think we had like 6, 7, 8 people so far. Over the next 2 months, we got another 5 coming in. So
cool.
which is crazy, and everybody has their own stories, where they come from, and all this stuff. And I kind of feel like it's interesting to kind of pluck their brains on it as well.
Mm,
And again, not that it has to be about tattoos, but that's kind of what
that's
brought us
what
together.
brought us. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, makes sense.
yeah. How did you find my studio? Why did you find my studio?
To be honest, I think it wasn't me. It was the guy who does my Instagram.
Perfect.
I I'm not so much into this industry, to
Mm,
be honest. I I know the OGs of this game, and I have artists that I admire, but I deleted my Instagram account or the app in 2018. I download it whenever I travel just to communicate with
mm,
the studio, and I delete it when I'm on the plane.
respect.
Yeah, so I'm it's kind of on off. I miss most of the stuff. So yeah, I I trust the people who work with me.
Respect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting to see how you live your life as well, how you set yourself as well. You've really fascinated me in such a weird kind of way because you come in and you take over the room, and even Leah's, he was like, I could just stand and look at him the whole day, and just he wouldn't even have to say anything.
Oh,
There was just so many expressions in him as well. And as I told you as well, I almost was late with my client, and you have this talk, and you came over,
I'm
and
so sorry for you.
don't be that. I think it's so powerful, and it actually makes you unique and genuine as well.
But we all are. That's the funny thing about it. We all are unique. Um, at least from my experience,
Yeah.
everybody is. Um,
But you have an opinion.
I don't.
You have
I
a
don't.
say,
I don't.
but I don't believe that.
I don't have an opinion.
You have an opinion.
I have a lot of ideas. I make a lot of notes
Yeah.
here, and I constantly change them. And the way I work, I try to exchange ideas with other people just to check if my notes are right or wrong, just to
Yeah.
get somebody else's opinion on this. Um,
What does make it right or what does make it wrong?
there is no right or wrong, it's all perspective, but it's so hard to figure out right or wrong. It's so hard to make an opinion. See, most of the people I know don't have opinions. They just adapt them from, you listen to the news or to this guy or to
Mm,
this podcast. Like, yeah, that's right. So you adapt whatever he's saying. Um, I think to get a good opinion, you have to make an experience, go through some emotions, whatever, pain, happiness, whatever, and then you can form an opinion. But other than that, it's just, just I heard this.
mm.
It's like, I don't know.
No,
No,
it's just interesting.
yeah.
I find it fascinating as well. You might not say you have an opinion, but you have a say about anything that I've asked you so far.
Uh, like I said, I have a picture,
Mm.
but it's constantly changing. Yeah.
Still, that you have that picture of everything, or you create that picture in a snap moment, or whatever it is, or are you just that experienced? Like, have you lived so many lives? Have you lived so many?
I did. I'm very wise.
Yeah, you are. You sound like it for sure.
No, but it's a running joke. I'm a smartass. I wouldn't say I'm not educated. A little bit. School was not my thing. Eh, I'm probably average intelligent. I'm more of a smartass. You know,
What do you define as a smartass?
s- smart people are awake all the time.
Mhm.
They pick up things, patterns. They are here,
Mm.
observing. Um, Knowledge is so it's worthless. You can walk around with all knowledge in the world. I can beat you
No, yeah,
with my
true,
thumb.
true.
Um, I don't even need that anymore. It's like, hey,
Yeah,
tell me.
Google, Google,
Yeah,
Google.
yeah. Um, and yeah, I think smart people are just here and awake,
So,
open minded.
so how do you add the ass into smart? When did you become a smartass then instead of just being street smart or a wise?
I think it's the ability to adapt
Yeah.
and to change the view and to say, I was wrong.
Mm,
Or maybe there's more to it than I already know.
mm.
Um, I think that's smart. I don't know.
I would say smart without adding the ass to it then.
Yeah.
Because I mean, of course, you told me that one story, and again, I'm not going to mention names, but you had that one guest that came in and she had to
Mm,
smoke her cigarette, and yeah, and you said, "Do you really want a tattoo from?"
yeah. So,
Yeah,
well, yeah, that makes no sense.
no,
Uh, but whatever floats your boat.
yeah,
Mhm.
but that's when art becomes bigger than the actual human behind it. So
And yeah. Do you believe in the concept of art? I do. I'm just
mm,
asking. Is
I
what you do art?
I would say I'm the way that I work with my tattoos is more. I'm more of a people's person.
Mm,
I like to talk to people, and people they come to me for that reason as well. I don't. I'm a decent artist, I'd say. But I'm not a high skill artist. But I come here. Or I come here. My guest gets here because they get a genuine experience as well. They like the vibe. They like the feel. They like to talk. And I say with a hint or a glimpse in the eye that I act like I listen to them. I do actually listen and I actually catch up with them. But I don't know if you noticed, like all the guests today I come in, Charlotte that was just in here before, I haven't seen her for 3 years. And that was her wedding memorial tattoos that she's getting. Is like she would not get tattooed by anybody else than me.
mm.
It's like, but anybody can do this tattoo and probably better than me as well. See, it's not about that.
Mm.
It's the experience, it's the energy as well. So no, I would not define myself as a real artist,
Mm.
but I'm a real artist in a people's kind of way because I give people an experience or still something unique. Um, so in that way, yeah, I'm a humans artist, but not necessarily a tattoo
Artist.
artist. Yeah.
What's an artist? You know.
Yeah,
I
what is it? As you said, like you can take a shit on the plate, and this is
if
art.
yes, you can take the shit on a plate. If you have an attitude,
Mm,
if you have a vision about the shit.
mm.
Um,
Perfect example.
yes, and if you
Mm,
can sell that to the people
mm,
and back it up, then it becomes art.
mm.
Otherwise, just a pile of shit.
True.
So it's not the shit that makes it art. It's your attitude towards the shit.
Mm,
I think that's an artist. It's a personality.
mm,
It's a way of seeing the world and trying to express that. There's many forms of art. You know, if I usually say that's not art, that's decoration.
mm,
Then you have the disgusting stuff that's in the museums, you know, like these big paintings of horrifying scenes of
mm,
war or whatever.
mm,
Nobody will put that in their living room. Um, Abstract stuff. So there's many forms of it. But what makes everything so valuable is that there is a person behind it trying to express himself and show you his reality. I think that's where it becomes art. But what do I know?
From all what you just mentioned, what do I know?
What do I
And
know? Maybe I'm totally wrong. And some expert on this gonna say something completely different.
but yeah, I get that point of it as well, but it's still interesting to have that take, and that's what I mean. Again, you always have. I'm gonna change the word from opinion to a say instead,
Mm,
and
an idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
the picture.
I try to make sense of all of this because a lot of times I think life itself is absolutely meaningless.
Yeah,
Makes no sense at all. It's a constant loop. You wake up, you eat breakfast, you exercise, you take shit, you go to work, come home, you sit there, you're bored, you decide that you need something that makes you happy, you get up, you work, you get that thing, you play with it, gets boring, you sit back down, and then the loop begins.
yeah,
And
damn surreal.
yeah, so there's this objectively, there's no deeper meaning to it from my perspective. What makes life so meaningful is art because it's dancing, movies, music, food,
Mm,
whatever it is. It's the salt. It's what makes the loop a bit more tasteful,
mm.
meaningful. Without these things, I don't know, man.
No, but
It
the thing
makes
is,
no sense. No sense at all.
if Mo would disappear tomorrow,
Yeah,
what do you want to leave behind you, and would you be happy from what you've done with your life so far?
I don't want to die. Um,
Good start.
I love life so much. I actually don't care. I'm not here to become enlightened or famous or whatever. Jesus and Buddha
Mm,
did all this
yeah,
work for us. I'm just here to enjoy life to the fullest, make
yeah.
some make some great experiences. Yeah, and try my best to be a decent human being. I try.
Yeah,
I try. Um,
that's a good start.
yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make my parents proud because they busted their ass they left their home and all these things. Blah blah blah. It's yeah.
The Persian mentality.
I think yeah. It's not just Persian. My
No,
Turkish friends have the same. It's the same scenario.
sure.
So yeah, yeah. Maybe the generation of our parents.
Yeah.
They were sacrificing everything for that. I don't know if it's still the same. I don't have children, so I would not do the same for them.
Mm. Maybe a cat, maybe a dog, or anything?
Mm,
Maybe a donkey?
no,
No,
no.
no.
I'm very selfish, and when it comes to my time and my life, yeah.
But is that a bad thing?
No,
I
I don't
have
think it's bad.
I have so much more respect for people actually saying I don't need to put kids in this world.
Or if it's your desire, if it comes from the bottom of your heart,
Mm,
and if you do it because you're in peace with yourself, and but I feel like a lot of times people do it. It's a very high form of procrastination.
mhm.
My life sucks. Let's make children and give them everything they need and take care of them.
Yeah, change the focus.
Yeah.
Mm,
Instead of going, what do I need? Am I healthy? Am I fulfilled?
yeah.
Do I love what I do? Etc. Etc.
I have this stupid saying that I created with the boys, and it's called if you would like family, if you want success. I know you can combine those two things, but it started out with a joke, but it became actually like more of a real thing to it. You can, of course, you can have success with your family.
Yeah.
You can have family with your success. And in my case, I talk a lot about business, and so you can only put your focus 100% for a certain of time in one area. And if you want that 100% success in career or family life, You have to put 100% into it.
As
And
a man, I think, yeah, we are very single focused.
yeah,
Um, but I am traditional, so I think it's my duty to provide. Please don't cancel me.
no,
Um,
but you said it yourself.
cancel me. I don't
Yeah,
care.
but
Yeah, I think it's my duty to provide for my loved ones, and it fulfills me with a lot of self confidence and happiness that I can do so. Um, and in an ideal world, you would have both success and a family in a traditional way. Yeah. My parents and my grandparents, and they lived in a community. It
mm,
was not mom, dad in an apartment, 80 square, two kids. I think that model does not work these days. It's very hard. You would have to have a community where everybody's taking care of everybody,
mm,
kind of thing.
mm,
And imagine, like, I always think about this, but I love my parents, bless them.
mm,
Um, but you're born and your parents absolutely suck. You don't choose them, right? And back in the days, you would have your mom, you have your aunt, the neighbor's lady, and the lady from down the street, whatever.
mm,
There's like 20 women in your life. You can just choose your favorite one.
sure.
Yeah. And these days, I don't know, it's way harder to be successful and to have a family
Mm,
because of the social structure that we created.
well spoken. Yeah, you're absolutely right because that's the same perspective that I have on it as well.
Mm.
And also with all the temptations and all the failures and the people drag it into you as well. I find it fascinating to live life and to actually create your way of finding success.
What
And
is success
I was
for you?
just gonna say that. What
What
is
is
the
success?
definition of success? What do you define? Because I believe that everybody else sees your success from the outside, but they don't know the real story behind it.
They see my Instagram
Yeah,
account.
yeah,
Yeah, that's all they see.
yeah,
Um, they see numbers,
yeah.
which makes no sense.
Sure.
And success is, from my definition, you get to choose what games you're playing. When you get up in the morning and you go somewhere and you work and they give you money for it, and in exchange, you spend your lifetime, they give you money, whatever. When you work for somebody else's dream,
Sorry,
it's
it's
hard.
harsh.
Yeah. When you get up in the morning, you go somewhere, you, disciplined, hard, blah, blah, blah. You play your own music, you take risk. I think that's already a big success
Yes.
compared to the other life. I'm not saying it's bad to work for someone or
Mm,
for something bigger, but for me, um, being able to live this life is already a success,
mm,
regardless, the whole
mm.
fame, whatever comes, yeah,
Whatever it is.
whatever it is. Playing my own music every day and deciding on when to take a break and where to go and how long to work
Mm.
is is a big success for
It
me.
is. It
And
is.
yeah,
Respect to that, for sure.
yeah, to everyone who is willing to take the risk. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Everything comes with a cost.
It yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I It does, and I don't know if these young kids are actually aware of the cost and the work and the dedication. Uh, Sometimes I feel like they do it for the fame. I'm like, fame is so good. It will, because I get you into clubs and it will get you late. And, but it also comes with a very high cost because if you're really famous, like really, really famous,
Mm.
it costs you so much. I don't know if they're aware of it. And I don't know if they actually want this. I hope not. You a bunch of people know you, you don't know them, then you have all these weirdos hitting you up for stuff, and then you can't even buy milk because you can't leave the house, and everybody wants a picture, and everybody wants some dirty laundry, and
Mm.
um,
Everything comes with a consequence.
everything comes, yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
It's just interesting to see, also like the different definition of what is success, what is life ambitions, and where do you wanna, where is this all gonna take you? Um, Now you mentioned it yourself the other day as well that
Mm,
your goal or your dreams, because you make your smart investments and
mm.
you can do pretty much whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I could do that before. Now it's just, financial freedom is cool because money solves money problems. Um, and it can buy you some happiness, but then happiness is not what I'm after. Happiness is here, and there's sadness, and then there's something in between. It's called peace. Um, Peace of mind, not the urge to,
Mm,
the pressure to do something. It's just getting up and going. It's basically going full circle. You become successful and rich and whatever to just realize it's about the simple stuff.
mm,
Eat, sleep, shit, the effort, make love. So you basically go back to becoming a child. And the most important thing when you get up is what games are we going to play today?
mm.
And maybe what's your favorite food of the day? Whatever, It's
Small things.
it's the small things,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the luxury of but you have to go full circle to understand this. You have to make the experience to form an opinion.
Mm,
Otherwise you have this goal in your head. Oh, I want to be rich, but what for? This is a very interesting question. I ask a lot of young folks, like, do you have a vision? Like, why do you do this?
mm,
For followers or for money? And they're like, oh, well, if I get famous, I can buy a Ferrari. I'm like, yeah, but the Ferrari is not a vision; it's a goal, buddy. It
mm.
costs 300,000, um, and it's very achievable. Like, but what's the vision? Like, is there something? Because the Ferrari is, I don't know, you save up for it and you buy it. I don't know how long it takes,
That's
but
yeah.
yeah,
Is a
long term,
yeah, but it's an unnecessary check
long
mark.
term.
Yeah.
What feeling are you after when you envision this? Wherever it is, the scene from Gladiator where he walks home and he feels nothing but peace and love, and he's
Mm,
finally retiring.
mm.
Um, do you have some sort of thing? Not a dream, because dreams, like dreams are,
Vision, yeah.
yeah, dreams are more science fiction, but
Yeah, dreams can
if
become anything. You can dream about everything and say, I would love to get to this point.
yeah, but they're not realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you have a strong vision, I think that's what they call manifestation these days.
Mm,
If you have a strong vision somewhere behind whatever you do, it automatically takes you towards that
mm,
feeling, that scene, that whatever, without you doing too much for it. Like you don't have to. It's authentic.
mm.
It's real. It's not. If I become famous, then yeah, everything's short term these days.
But it's also a weird answer to come with and say, when I become, if I become famous,
Mm.
what do you want to be famous for?
It makes life easier and some,
Some give and takes, yeah,
yeah,
but
but what feeling does it give you? Do
yeah,
you want to become famous because you?
because you did Paradise Hotel.
Huh? Yeah, it's everything is about feelings.
Mm,
Like yeah, I don't know. I think for me, and I'm only talking for me, and there's 8 billion realities out there. So when I talk about reality and happiness and all these things, I'm just talking from my
yeah,
perspective. So I think when I talk about a vision, it's freedom, the freedom of deciding what am I going to do? How am I going to waste my time today? You know? Without anybody telling me what to do, and without the worry about rent and
mm,
are we able to pay for these eggs, or like basic stuff.
mm,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
and that
But
makes sense to me. Yeah.
it makes sense to me as well. Like for me, I know money gives you security. So let's call it securities instead. For me, it's not about the money. It's the travel or the actual. It's not the actual destination, but it's the path to the actual destination. So when I retire, whatever, what do I want to do with the life, or what do I want to become in it? And again, it's not a question about money. How much money did I make? But it's, of course, there's a business relation to it that it gives me freedom. I can travel wherever I want to go to. I can do guest spots all over, and I can get to see the world through the industry that I work with as well. And for me, that's I'm living the vision. Um, I'm living to create, and have the freedom to create and do whatever I want with it as well. So in that case, I believe that I'm really, really blessed in those things
We all blessed. We live in Europe,
for sure.
and I mean, rich people are the better people,
They always are.
and the happier people, of course.
You think that?
Of course not.
No.
It's I would love to do a study and go to the happiest people on earth,
That's in Denmark. That's what they say.
yeah, and see how much money they got. And I bet you the richest people on earth are not the happiest
Mm,
people.
no. I had an interesting question with a lot of the people in the studio,
Mm.
and we have different ways of defining what is being happy. Is it a feeling, or is it a mood, or is it receiving something that you get excited about? And it was interesting to see because I had one of the artists. He was like, I'm getting this new disc, my a new workstation. I'm getting butterflies in my stomach, and I'm so excited. I can't wait for it to come." And he was asking me every day, like, "Did you get a mail? Is it getting delivered today?" Like, I'm so happy. Like,
But that's like I said, it's a feeling. It's a very high happiness is a very high emotion. And whenever something is very high or very low, it doesn't last very long. You go back to base level. And and if your base level is not healthy, if you can't sit still on base level,
mm, yeah,
you have a problem.
yeah,
It's like I need the next thing.
mm,
I need to buy this thing. I need to travel in it because it's very hard for you to just be.
mm,
Happiness is it's like a wave. It goes up and it
mm.
goes down. It's very natural. F- In my definition of
I
happiness,
get you.
yeah. So sometimes people say happiness and I mean peace. Depends on your definition of it.
There's also different levels of being happy. I believe, speaking for myself,
Hmm.
I've experienced so many things in life. I came from the nightclub industry. I used to work with so many nightclubs in Copenhagen. We had all sorts of celebrities come in and parties and whatever. And for me to take a distance and say, I need to be professional in my industry, even though I was working at the nightclub. So I was never drinking, never doing drugs, no nothing. But
Oh,
again,
what a
it's
shame.
I know I missed out. I
D-
fucking missed out. But for me to have so much experience with career wise, work wise, travel wise, family wise, all this stuff.
hmm.
So my level of being happy is more of like a constant feeling of I'm good. And it's interesting to
Maybe the
see.
word fulfillment
Yeah,
is better.
yeah,
Fulfillment,
yeah. I like that. I like
and that's at a place like a nightclub, for an example. You
temporary.
you sell pleasure. And I think one of the biggest viruses of our society these days is the pace that we go in. It's very fast. It's
Mm,
high, and because everything is so fast, you need pleasure, and you need it constantly.
yeah,
You need the burger, the pizza, the ice cream, the drugs, the club, the porn, the this, the that, the doom scrolling.
yeah,
It's constant pleasure,
yeah.
but it will never get you fulfillment.
No.
And to get to a place of fulfillment will take you way much longer.
Mm,
It takes so much discipline.
mm,
It takes the vision, a where do I want to be? And in order to get there, I have to walk a little bit. It's not just around the corner
mm,
or one click away.
mm,
Or, I think that's the curse of our society right now. Everything is so fast
mm. It's
and
too easy.
it doesn't last long.
No.
Yeah.
The dopamine levels and the endorphins, like it's
On a physical level, I'm talking more like on a physical. Mhm. how do you call it? Auf 'm philosophischen Level.
Yeah, with a physiological level.
Yeah. Um, I almost broke my tongue.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, so, but it's so hard
it is
because pleasure is so easy to get these days. So easy.
too easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's why I think happiness, yeah, fulfillment is so much more valuable, but it takes so much longer to get it.
mm,
But when you have it, it lasts a very long time.
mm. Yeah, I'll put that on my list and get it fulfilled and not be like a year. But it's interesting because people have different perspective of it, and of course I stand my grounds and I have my vision or my view of it.
Mhm.
But I'm happy for others that they can get excited about whatever it is, materialistic things or relationships or
But don't get me wrong, I love toys. You know, buying stuff and being
yeah,
it's a fantastic feeling. But then I mean, if it's all you have, you
well,
constantly need it.
mm,
You know,
mm,
if you constantly need that high, uh, what happens if I take that away from you?
mm.
Yeah.
We had I mentioned me and the boys we do this little beach house trip every now and then. And one of my friends, his goal was that he wanted to get a Rolex watch,
Hmm.
and that was on his bucket list. While I said like I wanted to be happy in my industry or happy in my relationship or be a better son, a better brother, and all this stuff. But it's just interesting to see what.
Well, the Rolex watch is a goal, nice goal to have,
Yeah,
and if it probably makes him happy, and that
maybe it does.
yeah. But then I would love to bet that he would probably want another one after a very short period, or a bigger watch, or a more expensive watch, or whatever. So when you play this game, ideally you play it, you win it, to then say, I don't need to play this anymore.
Um,
You know. But if you keep doing the loop, I don't know. You play Super Mario,
yeah,
you play through, and then maybe one more time because you missed a level or whatever.
yeah.
But then it was
One time,
boring.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's
yeah,
just a game.
yeah. I think it's interesting because I see a lot of my childhood friends, which has a lot of business wise success.
Mm.
They've made a fortune in big houses, big cars, and big watches, and bright clothing, and all this stuff.
Better people.
They they are they're good people. I love them.
I bet you.
Yeah, I love them for what they are.
Yeah.
But it's funny because they think also in the tattoo industry we make tons of money.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they see a nice location, they see a big studio, see all the things we buy, and how much to make an hour, or what, like make a couple of $100 here and there, and but they don't see the cost from materials and the cost from traveling, hotels, and all this stuff as well.
Put that by side. The time and energy we spend on the customers.
Yeah,
And I always say this when somebody says, "Oh, it's so expensive." I say, "Buddy, you get to spend 2 hours of my lifetime with me. It's priceless.
it is.
You're the most luckiest person on earth." And me putting a price on this is actually a disgrace. Uh,
It's prostitution.
yeah, it is prostitution. So, yeah, the material, whatever. But this is how much I think time is valuable. You pay for my lifetime
Mm.
and for the high taxes in Germany.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, if you look at it this way, then we underpaid. Plus, people pay 2,000 for a phone every year
it's crazy.
without blinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but because they know what it's worth and they need it.
it's worthless.
It is. But what's a tattoo worth?
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's the energy exchange between two people that will last a lifetime. And I think that's the biggest responsibility we have
Mm.
is to make sure that the client has a, a decent, if not forgettable, experience
Mm.
because they're gonna look at their image, whatever it is, and they're gonna remember you
Mm.
for the rest of their lives.
Mm.
That's why it's so important that you spend a decent 2 hours with
Mm.
them.
Mm. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so. But as I
Yeah.
told you as well, I feel like I'm not a great artist. I believe that I can become a great
Why
artist
you keep saying that?
because I don't know. It's just that because I have room to improve.
We all
Maybe it's yeah, but maybe that's just a way of me saying it like that.
are you comparing yourself a lot to because I feel like the social media thing, the when young artists ask me for advice, which I don't have, but I always tell them, turn off this freaking app and stop comparing yourself.
Mm.
And if you don't copy, if you do something, then steal it and
Mm.
make it better, whatever.
Mm.
But don't compare yourself.
No.
You you end up telling yourself, "Oh, I'm not a great artist. Look at this guy, whatever."
Mm.
It's only disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's always gonna be somebody that's better out there.
it's not better. It's just that guy is that
Different
guy. Yeah, he's technically maybe he's technically better, whatever. I'm not better than anyone. Like I'm average. I think what stands out is whenever I do it. It comes from a deep belief.
Mm.
It's a reflection of what I believe in. It's me in an image when you look deep into it.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you feel like you put yourself into your tattoos.
What you see in the images is me. It's the practicality, it's the simplicity, it's the complexity, it's the everything I do has a meaning and a purpose. You just can't see it. You see a black and white picture on,
Mm.
on Instagram. Yeah.
So if you would put words into your tattoo that describes you,
Mhm.
yeah.
Efficient. I love efficiency.
Mm.
I When you come to my studio, there's so many things people don't see, but the way I set up, it's been the same for 10 years. I'm just improving it. The amount of paper towels, the the single steps I do, the order the bottles are placed, the 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 way they have to reach for things,
Mm.
everything is. I think I can't improve it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So I try to get the best out of it without spending too much time there because I have so many other things that I want to enjoy in
Mm.
life.
Mm.
Yeah. And I try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I see this a lot with tattoo artists in the studio where you have a 5-6 hour debate and talk with the client about the design.
Mm.
I would kill myself. Um, I give them a option.
Mm.
If they like it, it's cool. If they don't like it, then there's not much to debate because it's my drawing.
Yeah.
It's my vision of the world. Um, I think that's where most of the time goes,
Mm.
actually. It's "Oh, what do you think? Maybe we could do this or do that." No,
Mm.
no. You can do whatever you want, but
Mm. You take you away from it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's my drawing. It's me.
Yeah.
Um,
That came to you for a reason as well.
yes. And yeah,
I like that. I'd love to. I'd honestly, I'd love to come down and study your setup, the
it's
efficiency.
very simple. The
Uh,
room's empty. There's if I have this thing and I have it at home. Um, when you walk through your home or your workspace or whatever, you pick up everything that there is,
mm.
and you ask yourself the simple question: do I want to possess it or do I need it? Am I using it? If you use it, it has the right to stay. If it's just standing around, it has to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't fulfill a purpose. Unless it's a nice stone that I picked up at the beach.
Got some power in it as well.
Yes. So I have that monkey in me. I love to pick up stuff and just put it in the window because it reminds me of a place and a time and it gives me a certain feeling that I like to revisit. But other than that, I don't possess much stuff. It makes life so much harder to move stuff from A to B
Mm.
and to clean it. And then there's dust, the big enemy of every household. Um,
So that's why you don't have a couch and you don't have a TV.
I don't. I promise you, this is to my wife. I promise you, we get a couch and
Let's see. Well, let's see when she sees this. That was on paper. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, it is. I love it.
But again, I'm the creator of my own life. Do whatever floats your boat. Buy all the shit in the world. Put it in your house if it makes you happy. Good for you. This is the one misconception that everybody has is like, you buy the book 10 Steps to Happiness. You read it. You follow all the steps, and you're like, oh, I'm not happy. Of course not, buddy. He wrote the book.
Yeah.
It worked for him, and it probably will only work for him because he's a completely different human being with a completely different reality. I mean, yeah, there's reality and there's truth. I can pick this up and throw it, and it will probably fall down. We can agree on this, but everything else is you experience the world through a trillion filters.
Sure.
So my truth and my happiness and my 10 steps are probably not going to work for you.
Most likely.
Yeah, so it's again, you have to sit down and invest some time
Mm.
and be very conscious
Mm.
and reflective, whatever, to find your 10 steps to happiness.
Mm.
And they probably look completely different to my 10
Yes,
steps.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see other people's mirroring themselves into whatever other people do as well.
We are monkeys. Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we are tribe animals. I do get it.
You also said to yourself earlier that you, of course, you can change your opinion from one day to another.
Mhm.
So, as you said, monkey say, monkey do.
Yeah, which makes life easier because most people don't have an opinion.
Mm.
I just repeat his. It sounded so good and
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if you're convincing enough to explain something to somebody else, and they're like, "Oh, I need that. I want this in my life."
Sometimes I hope they prove me wrong
Yeah.
so I can change my opinion.
Yeah.
Most
Let
of the
them do the
times,
work.
huh?
Let them do the work.
Yeah, well, no, just doubt me
Yeah.
and prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I beg you to,
Yeah.
so I can learn something new. That's actually the definition of stubborn people. My definition that people who already know the truth.
Mm.
So there's not much room for new ideas and new concepts.
That's pretty big.
I admire them.
Yeah.
It's like my father's one of them. He already knows everything.
Mm.
But my parents are perfect, by the way. Just want to mention this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really admire those people
Mm.
because most of the times I'm confused. I'm like, man, I don't know. He's right about that. Until I meet the next guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Nah, but he's also right. But that's why it's so hard to make up your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fucking easy.
No, who said life is easy? Life is hard. Get a helmet.
Yeah. Get out. Take a
You
seat
can
on a
choose
plane.
your
Yeah.
favorite color if it makes you happy.
Yeah. I'm colorblind. I can't.
Mm.
They're all gray to me. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Life is interesting, and it's interesting to see where ambitions and interest from doing a little sketch road to becoming what you became and what you're doing right now.
I'm very lucky. I'm so lucky.
But are you lucky?
Yeah,
Are you,
I'm
or you more at the
judged,
right place at the right time?
Yes, I have this talent.
Yeah.
I'm really a lucky bastard.
Write a
Like,
book about it.
I must admit that timing, it's a very good friend of mine.
But do you also believe in, because you're accepting, you're open, you're if it's the energies and all this stuff,
Hmm.
that you're willing to take whatever comes your way, that's why it actually hunts or seeks you as well.
What do you mean? Define that.
Um, that you have a mindset or a mentality that you're not afraid of changes. You're not afraid of exploring or opening your mind or trying something new.
No,
that it actually seeks you at those things that's luck or at the right time or at the right place?
I think I'm very naive. So from a very early age, I thought if I want to do this, I just do this. Why wouldn't I?
Mm,
I come from a very poor background. We were,
mm,
refugees, whatever. My dad left when I was 6. That's not the victim card. I'm just
mm,
explaining.
yeah.
I'm not a victim.
No.
Um, and I realized if I want to do something, I just have to do it. And then it either works or it doesn't work. But sitting there going, oh, I think no, shoulda, woulda, coulda,
Mm,
it never worked for me.
no.
And 90% of the time it worked out. I was just so naive and just doing it without overthinking it,
Head first.
which is, it's also a talent of mine. And also, there is the deep, deep, deep fear of death that I have. It's probably my biggest fear. It's not it's hard to explain. So it's not the fear of death. It's more the fear of not being alive anymore.
Okay.
And when I do stuff, and the more extraordinary it is, the more I feel alive. So I love taking risk.
Mm,
I love climbing the fence and doing, don't go there.
do it.
Du-du-du-du.
Don't
I
play
would
the fence.
I'd be the first one over there
Yeah.
just to check it
Yeah.
out. It makes me feel alive.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm opposite and say I'm not. It's not to make it sound wrong, but I'm not afraid of death.
Mm.
If I would die tomorrow, I would be like, "Fuck, I actually lived a pretty cool life. I actually did some pretty cool, sick things."
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too. I'm afraid of regretting.
yeah.
No, I'm not. That's not the. No, it's
You
no,
regret what you said.
no, no. Yeah, it's not. No, it's not regretting. It's really it's the fear of not being alive anymore.
Do you feel like you have a FOMO?
It's not FOMO.
No.
It's really man. It's the biggest. It's the worst feeling I've ever felt.
Mm,
It's you lie there in your bed. It's
mm,
dark, and then you like, what happens when I die? And this is where I hit a brick wall. Like I don't fucking know. And I think whatever I do is unconsciously. I'm not walking around going, "Oh shit, I'm gonna die."
no.
It's unconsciously. I do crazy stuff so I can lay in the dark and go, "This was crazy."
Yeah,
So cool. So cool to be
sweet.
alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I respect that.
Well, it's a strategy. Everybody has their surviving strategy. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Mm. It's it's annoying though, but
No, I think it's also a relevant tool to have in your life as well. Instead of focusing, okay, shit, what am I actually gonna do tomorrow? Always stay motivated and inspired and seek discomfort. Do things that that's put you out of the comfort zone to make sure that oh fuck,
you mean like podcasts?
for example, yeah, first time and look at you go. We've been yapping for how many hours now? It's
Jesus. I
20
don't
minutes.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's important to seek discomfort. I think it's important to get out of your comfort zone. I think it's important to
For everyone? Because I don't think so.
not
Like
for
I said,
everyone,
yeah.
but I get that people that want to scan your goods in the grocery stores and that's makes you safe. You have your 9 to 5 and you do your thing. But I feel like it's important for people to seek discomfort who's willing to take a risk and
Mm.
who's able to take a risk and not afraid of taking a risk as well. Everything comes with a cost. Sometimes you win, but most of the time you actually also lose. But if you're able to lose and get to a lower point, but build yourself up, you get to know those stepping stones in a different kind of way. You get to take yourself to a different level. You get to teach yourself a mindset, teach yourself different definitions of being happy or life goals or ambitions. So I find life really interesting and I find people interesting to see what do they do with their life. Do they want to settle for a family? Do they want to have whatever, 20 kids and 20 dogs and 15 cats and 2 rabbits and whatever? Good. If that's what you want to do, pursue
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But if you talk about, oh, I want to go travel the world, Go fucking do it. What are you afraid of? "Ah, I'm afraid of flights." You can sail, you can drive, you can take your bike, you can walk. Try something. Yeah, but maybe I need to save up first and like take a loan. You can always work that money off. Yeah, of course you can't, but there's no guarantees in life. But if you talk about the things that you want to do, but never live it, what's the purpose? What's it worth?
I don't know because I don't know the other people's purpose, but it's so hard to judge other people. I mean, some people just have this character structure. They love to play it safe,
Mm,
2 backup plans,
mm.
whatever. And who am I to judge? You know, But I have to be honest. I don't care. I don't care about other people.
No,
Not at all. It doesn't come from a
you have enough.
dark place. Whatever.
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do. The only thing is be a decent human being.
Mm,
Whatever you do. That's probably the only rule I would play by. Whatever you do, just be a decent human being.
mm,
Um, you don't have to be famous or rich, or you don't have to be super spiritual. Meditate all day. I actually don't care. You're not a better human. Um, just be decent.
yeah.
That means
Stay humble.
don't be humble. Uh, Be whatever. Just don't hurt other people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if it makes you happy, makes you happy.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You don't have to be humble.
I like humble people.
You like humble people?
Yeah.
Why?
Makes it easier for me.
Yeah. I love self-confident people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very inspiring. But on the other hand, I'm like, cool, if it works for him, it works for him.
But that's also at the point where you're at right now. You're like, yeah, I have enough in my life already. I don't need
I
more.
do, yeah.
You do
Well,
love.
yeah, I have enough now. Who knows?
Do you actually have enough?
I have more.
But not. I'm not speaking about friends or like money or anything. Like, do you have enough to fulfill your life as it is right now?
I'm already fulfilled. I'm the richest man alive.
Perfect.
It's the it's the coming home. It's the questions now are, who the hell am I? No, and that's the $1 million question. And then the closer I get, the more interesting things are, because then when you can identify something, things change. And then they change because the better you are in defining who you are, the more clear everything else gets. You know what I mean? Your ideas,
Yeah.
the vision,
Yeah.
the what do I need? What can I leave behind? What is fulfilling me and what not? Yeah. So it's the picture becomes clearer and clearer.
Mm.
Yeah. That's why I'm so happy right now. It's like, yeah.
Are you happy?
There's no today, no. It's a very day.
Shitty weather. You.
I was happy last week.
Yeah.
Very happy. No.
What makes
But
you?
I'm in peace. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Right now I'm in peace. Yeah, I'm not worried.
No.
I yeah, I'm not chasing anything. I have a good life. My loved ones are healthy. Yeah.
God bless them.
Yeah. And I have the best friends in the world.
That's good.
Yeah, bless them. Fuck you, all of you.
How do they feel about you doing all this traveling? Like, do they envy it? Or
I
do they
think they
support it? Or
no. There's just, they're waiting for me to come back home so we can have a barbecue party.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What made you chase the whole thing of traveling? Is it just a way of you to explore the countries, or?
I'm just away for 3 weeks because we have construction work at home.
Told me, yeah.
I'm like, I I love my studio. Like, if I could, I would never leave.
No.
Never. No, I feel very, I wouldn't say uncomfortable leaving, but there's so many things that you can't control in a
No.
different studio,
Yeah.
simple stuff like how's the light,
Yeah.
how's the people, is the guy next to me smelling, or it's like I love my environment because I created it, and I can guarantee for a certain experience there. And I have a responsibility for my clients. So when they come, I want to make sure they have a pleasant experience. That's why going somewhere is a big thing for me. But then it has benefits. I get to meet people, I get to exchange ideas, and I get to experience myself in a different environment. Because
Mhm.
when I sit at home and I've been not guesting for almost 10 years,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening out there. And then it's funny, you walk into a studio somewhere around the world and strangers come to you and say, "Man, it's so nice to meet you." Rah, rah. I'm like,
Is it?
talking to me? Yeah. So you get to experience yourself in a different
Mhm.
context. That's why it's sometimes nice to leave the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't need it. It's more stress than anything because I've been traveling a lot in my
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
I respect that.
Mm.
And I feel like the way that I travel is use everything as inspiration and motivation for sitting my settings or my studio. As you said, like you have your environment that you feel safe and secure in. And and of course I went from having a small studio
Mm.
to a private studio to opening up a bigger studio, but also as a private studio and taking all those weird risks. I'm like, fuck, I actually don't know what I want. But I just want this place and I could actually sit in this studio by myself and I could actually make a living as well.
Mm.
Like, it's weird to have 320 square meters space and just be one artist at the same time and say, fuck, this is ignorant, it's arrogant.
Is it?
Mm,
I love it, man.
yeah, looking from an outside perspective, I think is it seems arrogant,
Who
but
cares?
yeah. But again, I actually don't care what others would think.
I do
And yeah,
a lot.
clearly not.
We all do.
Yeah. But again,
I think it's very human. But like I said, you create whatever gives you
yeah.
peace
Yeah.
and comfort,
Yeah.
right? And I don't feel comfortable. Like I could open a place and handpick my favorite people. Shout out to Rita and Okan and put them there and have a great experience. Um, I could do that, but I also feel very comfortable just by myself.
Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
think
the coolest time is when it's just me in the studio. I I really enjoy that.
that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to observe the artists that I have as well as I told you as well. They're kind of handpicked and
Hmm.
they're supporting each other as well. And they're so different, personal wise, tattoo wise, life wise, and ambition wise, and all this stuff. Some of them want to become celebrities. Some of them want to be superstars. Some of them they're doing just as a side job, and some of them are like, yeah, I just like to be creative, and I actually just like to meet people, and I like to listen to people, and like everybody's different. And I think it's interesting to see so many different perspectives, as I told you earlier as well, like how they match
Mm,
with being such a unfitted match as well.
yeah. But to me, that would be stress. To, like being responsible for so many
Oh
people.
fuck yeah.
I if it's not stressful for you,
Oh, it's
then
fucking stressful.
yeah. But then why would you do something that's stressful? That
Because
makes no sense in my world.
but it motivates me.
And then
It
then
amuses
that's
me.
another thing. Like I said, I try to erase anything that causes any type of disharmony
Mm,
or um stress
yeah.
or pressure, or I just want life to be as simple as possible. And that's why I chose that way.
Yeah.
But I have colleagues who can't work in a quiet place.
No.
They need the energy of others to
Yeah.
thrive and to
True.
be
True.
creative or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. But then again, whatever floats your boat.
I think it's I mean, I believe that I will get to that point at some certain time in my life.
Mm.
We'll see. But
If, or unless it's a financial thing, having a studio is. I mean, we're talking business. It's a business, but I rather have less money and have the peace.
yeah.
Yeah, and this is one thing that I keep repeating to myself. If it costs a piece,
Mm,
it's too expensive.
true.
I don't know, but it works for me. And that's for anything. That's for people. That's for even the hotel that we choose. It has to be in walking distance,
Mm,
because I never know.
true.
I try to create a very
Safe environment.
it's not safe. It's practical and
Mm.
simple. Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm different that kind of way. I kind of like to
Fantastic.
put my head under my arm and
Mm,
go headless into things and like
good.
it amuses me in a weird kind of way. I love when I actually fail in a lot of things. I learned so much from all my failures and doing the weird guest posts that I did, like traveling to Hawaii and we get hit by a like hurricane level 5 and a city next to ours goes into fire and stuff like that, and my flight gets canceled and my family back home, they're like, "Where the fuck are you?" Like, "Hey, on Hawaii. I'm gonna go surfing. There's big waves today." It's like, "It's
Mm.
great." And I feel like because I fail in so many things, but I learn from it.
Some people do learn from mistakes.
Yeah,
This is the way they're from. This is their interface.
yeah,
They go a certain way, fall in the face, say this way does not work.
yeah,
This is the way they perceive and experience life. I'm more of a I'm different.
yeah.
Not better, not more efficient. I'm just different. Some people are very practical. Some are natural talents. They don't need to do anything. Everything works for them
Mm,
straight away. We have all kinds of energies out there.
mm.
Yeah.
You had a lot of saying about the energies as well.
Mm. Yeah, I do believe in energy.
Mm,
It's we needed to turn on the light, and um, anything that I can think of is energy. This is what I believe. I believe it because I don't know it. I can't prove it. But for me, it's true. And I think Tesla said it, if you understand energy, you understand the
mm.
universe. I don't understand fully, but I try. Yeah.
You explained that thing with as you're being born
Mm.
and your navel string gets cut and the
Yeah.
energies get sent through your body.
So there's this thing that changed my life. It's called human design. Go and look it up.
Is that 10 minutes? Got you. You got 10 minutes to explain this.
Okay. Go and look it up. Um, it it's basically a method to explain your type of energy, your frequency, your talents, and it gives you a very crisp and clear idea on how you function on a deeper level,
Mm,
not physically, not mentally, but more spiritually.
mm.
You have the body, mind, and soul, and there is something beyond the things that you can see and hear, and I do believe in them because it makes so much more sense for me. Yeah,
And that's it?
that's it. I judge people on it.
Really? Well, how do you judge people? Do you feel like you can see through people in that kind of
No,
case? Or
I mean, of course, if I see an asshole, I can, I can identify it. But before I knew all this, I I thought I could identify people that I like based on a feeling
mm,
without talking to them. I felt, mm, I like him. I don't know why. He didn't say anything. He was just standing next to me. He has a nice frequency, or whatever you want to call
mm,
it.
mm.
Vibe. Um, that's the street term.
Makes
Um,
sense, yeah.
aura. It's
Mm,
very spiritual.
yeah.
And I found this thing, and it ended up to be 2 years, like a educational course, whatever. My teacher learned it from the guy who invented it. He didn't invent it. He channeled it through a chimney in the woods.
You gonna name drop it, or
Huh?
are you gonna name drop the person, or
Oh yeah, his name is Ra Uruhu. He's from Canada.
okay?
Very inspiring guy. Crazy. But who cares? We all are crazy to some extent. And that literally changed my life. It opened up a whole new perspective because now I understand that everybody is an absolute individual,
Mm.
and that everybody sees the world through a completely different.
How do you do it? The third eye.
Yeah, whatever. Um, so whatever that person is experiencing, it's his truth, and it works for him. So there's no way for me to judge him. I mean, again, if he's an asshole, he's an asshole. And I don't like when people use these spiritual things as an excuse, like, astrology.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Leo, that's why I'm
Mm.
no, buddy, you're just an asshole.
Yeah. Nothing to do with that.
Yes, it's not an excuse.
No.
But if you look deeper into the question of who am I, this is a very valuable tool. For me, it was.
Mm.
Maybe it's nonsense for you, but then if maybe you believe in something else, Jesus Christ or whatever, money,
Yeah.
um, whatever gives you sense and a reason to live, because after all, we as a species, we don't know shit.
No.
95% of everything is invisible.
True.
And then there's the 5%, and then you can't even see everything.
No.
You need a microscope or a whatever. So we get to experience that much of
Mm.
reality.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but there's more to it. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So that's why you have to believe in something,
Mm.
because you don't know shit. And not knowing means believing. Yeah. So there's no facts. I can't prove it to you, but to me it's true.
Mm.
Yeah.
So whatever we believe in.
Whatever you believe in.
Yeah.
And you can believe in Santa Claus if if it fulfills your heart with happiness
If
and
it
joy,
wants to.
then yeah, then it's good. Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. Like I said, as long as you don't hurt other people and you're a decent human being, whatever that is, um, yeah.
So that's your last word of advice.
My last word of advice is, come on, good advice, Mo.
Okay, so good. That's said something cool. Fuck.
Mm, oh man, there's so much I would love to tell you. Not.
No.
My last advice would be never give advice to people, because
That's the reason, man.
gonna come back and kick your ass one day. Yeah.
Mo, I really appreciate you coming in and thanks for letting me
Thank
do
you.
this BS with you.
Thank you.